Jody Nordstrom here with Cellar Notes. Today we have Drew from Chankaska Winery joining us. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure to be here, Jody.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your history?
My history? Well, I think I'm one of the few Minnesota winemakers that wasn't born here. I come from the central coast of California, Santa Barbara County. Moved out here almost 3 years ago to help design and build and be the founding winemaker at Chankaska Creek. People are always asking me how we got the name Chankaska, and the simple answer is that the creek that runs through the property is called Chankaska, which is a Dakota word meaning forest edged or forest enclosed. If I had $1 for every time somebody asked me, are you guys located between Chaska and Chanhassen, and is that how the name came? The answer is no. We take our name after the creek that runs through the property.
Very cool. Now, if people are looking to take a day trip, what is the easiest way to get to your winery from the Twin Cities, and what amenities do you have there?
Yeah, we're located in Kasota, which is just south and across the river from St. Peter, Minnesota. So probably the best way to get there is just to take the 169 out of Minneapolis or Shakopee, and when you get to St. Peter, you take a left at the last stoplight. The bridge takes you across the river, and we're a mile down Highway 22 on the east side. We have a lot of different amenities on the property. Basically, what you've got at Chankaska is a Napa Valley style winery plunked down along a creek, along a forest in southern Minnesota. It's a 12,000 square foot facility. It's all built of local limestone, Kasota stone, and distressed barn wood. As I say, we've got an underground temperature humidity controlled barrel storage room. We've got extensive outdoor landscaping. We've got a tasting deck out back of the tasting room. We've got a tasting patio, which has a fireplace. We do have food. We've got a wood-fired pizza oven, and so we do fresh handmade wood-fired pizzas. We have other foods that we can cook in the pizza oven as well. We do some wonderful steamed mussels. We have fruit and cheese plates. We've got cured meat platters. We've got free live music on Friday and Saturday nights. If the weather's nice, we do that outside on the tasting patio. If the weather's not so good, we'll actually break open the barrel room and let the band and the people party in there. We have a variety of event spaces. We've got a large tent that can hold sit-down wedding parties of 200 people. We've got trails throughout the property. We've got little bridges going over the creek. We're a Minnesota farm winery. Basically, that means we're allowed to sell wine on Sundays, which most other liquor stores can't do. We're also allowed to import up to 49.9% of our fruit from outside of the state, and we do that. We make wonderful wines from the West Coast. I make a Yakima Valley from Washington State Riesling and a Sauvignon Blanc. I make an ancient vine Zinfandel from fruit I get from Lodi, California. But we also make Minnesota wines, and hopefully we're doing excellent work with both of those varieties. We make over 18 or 19 different wines every year. We've got sweet wines and dry wines and dessert wines. We've got an underground, I think Minnesota's only underground humidity and temperature controlled barrel room. So all of our red wines spend time in actual barrels. We use a lot of Minnesota grown oak barrels, which is very exciting to me. We're using Minnesota grapes and Minnesota oak barrels at a Minnesota winery, but with a California winemaker.
Very cool. All 4 of these wines are available at all 3 Lakeville Liquors locations. Can you tell us a little bit about each one of these?
I'll tell you a little bit about each one. The first wine here on the right is our Kasota Rose. It takes our name after the town of Kasota. It is a blend of Frontenac Gris, Frontenac, and a little tiny bit of La Crescent. So it's a blend of red and white grapes in one wine. It's semi-sweet. It has a lot of flavor intensity. It's very, very rich. I call it fruit salad in a glass. Very, very popular with women, men as well, but ladies seem to really gravitate towards that rosé. The next wine is our Reserve Marquette. We make a variety of Marquettes. I think every year I get Marquette from 9 or 10 different vineyards, and I handle each lot of Marquette separately. and age them separately, keep them in separate barrels, and then when we get ready to bottle, I choose which barrels I think are the best. So the best of the best barrels go into that Reserve Marquette. It's won a number of awards. It recently just got a gold medal and a best of class distinction at the Riverside International Wine Competition in California.
Very cool.
Which is quite an honor for a little Minnesota Marquette. The next wine is the Petite Colline. Petite Colline is a fancy French word for little hill. I named the wine that because our vineyard is located on a little hill. We've got six different Minnesota cold climate white grapes planted in that vineyard. And basically this is a blend of every white grape that comes off that vineyard. Mostly it's La Crescent with little bits of Brianna, Edelweiss, Prairie Star, Frontenac Gris, and St. Pepin. It's a dry, crisp, very refreshing white wine. Last year, the first vintage got a gold medal as well at the Riverside competition. The last wine in that little frosted bottle, that's what we call Frostbite. Our Frostbite is a unique wine. It's a non-traditional ice wine. That is to say, we harvest the fruit when it's very, very ripe, not when it's frozen. We then freeze that fruit down to about 5 degrees Fahrenheit for about a week. I then will hand load all those grapes into the press. We very gently, and over about a 12-hour period, we press those frozen grapes. Basically what you're doing is you're freezing the water that's in the grape, and when you press a frozen grape, you get a couple of drops or maybe 1 drop of liquid sugar essence. So I only get about 1/4 of the amount of juice off of frozen grapes than you get off of a non-frozen grape. We then ferment it very, very slowly, partially in oak barrel, partially in stainless steel tank. And then when we're getting ready to bottle it, we fortify it with a little bit of triple distilled grape vodka to get the alcohol up to about 21%. So it's kind of like a sweet martini or an ultra sweet dessert wine. I like to pour it over ice and shake it like a martini and pour it in a glass. It's almost too intense to drink all by itself. The best thing I do with the best discovery I've made with the Frostbite is to use it as a base for a margarita. Use a measure of good tequila, a measure of fresh lime juice, and a measure of the Frostbite, which basically acts like the sweet and sour or margarita mix, and we call it a Chankaska Rita.
We just wanted to mention also that the Casota Rosé won Taste of Lakeville this year.
For the best regional wine. Yeah, that was a great honor. The Casota Rose is an original blend we came up with. We're very proud of it. It's a very popular little wine, and it's winning a lot of awards. It got a silver medal last year at the Cold Climate Conference in St. Paul.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Jody. Look forward to you coming to visit the winery sometime.
Absolutely.